Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to tackle something we all see every single day, but probably don't give a second thought to: the fine print. We're talking about that tiny text on food and medicine labels that holds some of the most crucial information for our health and our safety.
So let's dive right in. And to start, I want to frame why this is such a bigger deal than most of us think. This isn't just about squinting a little bit. For millions of people, it's a real barrier to getting critical information.
Think about this number for a second. According to the CDC, that's how many Americans over the age of 40 have some kind of vision impairment. We're talking over 4.2 million people. That's a huge number.
And what that number really means is a daily struggle. For millions, a simple task like reading the ingredients on a box of cereal or the dosage on a medicine bottle, it's a massive challenge.
So that really brings us to the big question for today, right? In a world that's just filled with tiny, hard-to-read text, how can all of us, not just those with vision impairment, find the info we need to stay safe? Let's start in a place we all go, the grocery store. Because here, walking down the aisles, reading a label correctly isn't just about counting calories. For someone with a serious food allergy, it is literally a matter of life and death. Now, the good news is there are rules in place to help us. The FDA actually requires that the 9 most common food allergens have to be clearly labeled on any package. So what are they? Let's take a look. Okay, so here they are, the big 9, as defined by US law. You've got milk, eggs, fish and shellfish, then there are tree nuts and peanuts, wheat and soybeans. And the newest one on the list is sesame. Just getting familiar with this list is a huge first step to becoming a pro at reading labels. All right, so you know what to look for, but how do you actually find it on a crowded package? Well, there's a really simple and effective method you can use every single time. It's a really easy 3-step process, courtesy of foodallergy.org. First, just scan the entire ingredient list. Second, look for that bold "contains" statement. It's legally required, so it has to be there. And third, keep an eye out for any "may contain" warnings. These are a little different, but just as important. And understanding that difference is absolutely crucial. Think of it this way. A "contains" statement is a fact. It's required by law, and it means that allergen is in the product as an ingredient. A "may contain" statement, on the other hand, is a voluntary warning. It means the allergen isn't an ingredient, but there's a chance it could have accidentally gotten in during manufacturing. You gotta pay attention to both. Okay, so we've got the grocery store covered. Now let's pivot and head over to the pharmacy, because when it comes to prescription meds, the stakes are just as high, and honestly, the language can be even more confusing. You know, it's so easy to look at a prescription bottle and just think it's for the pharmacist, but it's not. That label is your personal instruction manual for your own health. So let's break down the 4 key things you absolutely have to understand. First up, the active ingredient. This is the powerhouse of the medicine. It's the part of the drug that's actually doing the work to treat your condition. It's always a good idea to know exactly what you're putting into your body. Next, you'll see indications and usage. Don't let the fancy words throw you off. This part is just telling you in plain terms, what is this medicine actually for? It confirms the official FDA-approved reason you're taking it. Now, this next part is maybe the most critical section to get right: dosage and administration. This is your game plan. It tells you exactly how much to take, how to take it, and how often. You've got to follow these instructions to the letter. And finally, pay very close attention to contraindications. I want you to think of this section as a giant red stop sign. It lists all the reasons, maybe another medical condition you have or another drug you're taking, that would make this medicine dangerous for you. Seriously, this section can save your life. So after our trip through the grocery store and the pharmacy, what's the big idea here? It's really about making a shift from just being a passive consumer to being an active, informed advocate for your own health. So here's what you need to remember. For food, make it a habit. Always check the ingredients and that "contains" statement. Remember that "may contain" is about risk. For medicine, get comfortable with those 4 key terms: active ingredient, dosage, and especially contraindications. And here's the golden rule for everything. If you are ever in doubt, just ask. Your doctor or pharmacist wants to help. Because ultimately, it all boils down to this really simple but powerful idea. All the amazing technology and drugs in the world don't matter if you don't have clear information to make safe choices for yourself. And that leaves us with one final thing to think about. In our world of smartphones and instant data, what could the label of the future look like? As technology gets smarter, how can we redesign these critical pieces of information to make them truly, instantly accessible for every single person? What does the future of clarity look like to you?